throat went completely dry as I stared at the caller ID flashing across my phone screen. Mom, a name that still made my chest tighten after 14 years of silence. The coffee shop around me buzzed with normal people living normal lives while I sat frozen, watching that name pulse like a warning light. My hands started shaking before I even answered. Hello? Belle, sweetheart. Her voice hit me like a slap wrapped in honey. Oh my God, it's been so long. You sound so grown up. The word sweetheart made my skin crawl. The same woman who'd pointed at me with those perfect manicured nails and said, Belle will be fine on her own, was now calling me sweetheart. My name is Sophia, I'm 32, and I'm a self-made millionaire. This is the story of how I discovered my family didn't just abandon me, they profited from erasing me completely. The conversation that followed felt like drowning in slow motion. Mom's voice cracked with practiced emotion as she explained how Emma, my sister who'd posted family photos for years while pretending I didn't exist, was in serious financial trouble. She needs $42,000 immediately, Mom said, and I could almost hear the desperation leaking through her careful tone. The investors are threatening to sue. We could lose everything. After 14 years of foster homes and sleeping in my car during college, now I was suddenly part of we. I wasn't surprised they'd tracked me down. My business success had been featured in several industry publications, making it easy to find my contact information through my company's public records. Where's Dad? I asked, my voice surprisingly steady. He's struggling too. Belle, honey, you've done so well for yourself. Maybe you could help the family. The family. The words tasted like poison. I'd spent my childhood wondering what made me so forgettable, so disposable. 3 jobs at 18, sleeping 4 hours a night, saving every dollar while they lived their perfect suburban life without me. I'll think about it, I heard myself say. But as I hung up, I was already booking a flight home, not to save them, to face them. After 14 years of wondering if I mattered at all, I was about to find out just how much they'd underestimated the child they threw away. The hometown airport felt smaller than I remembered, like everything else from my childhood that had shrunk in my memory. I'd flown first class, not to show off, but because I could. The 10-year-old girl who'd clutched a teddy bear while her parents divided up her siblings would never have imagined this moment. 3 hours after that phone call, I walked into Romano's, the same restaurant where we'd had my last birthday dinner before the divorce, feeling like I was stepping into a photograph that had been crumpled and smoothed out too many times. Mom sat at a corner table, her hair still perfect, her smile still fake. Dad looked older, but carried himself with the same stubborn pride. Emma wore designer clothes I knew she couldn't afford, and Ryan, my brother, who'd never called, never texted, never acknowledged my existence, sat hunched over like he was trying to disappear. Belle! Mom stood with arms wide like we were in some heartwarming reunion commercial. Look at you, so successful, so beautiful. I stayed standing. Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you survive being abandoned. The fake smile flickered. Dad cleared his throat. Let's not start with drama. We have real problems to solve. Real problems, I repeated slowly. Like how you have real problems but fake family members. Emma leaned forward, her voice sharp with entitlement. Look, Belle, we don't have time for your victim complex. I'm in serious trouble here, and you could actually help for once instead of being bitter about ancient history. Ancient history. My entire childhood was ancient history to her. Help for once, I said, sliding into the chair across from them. That's interesting. When exactly did you help me before? We were kids, Ryan muttered. It's not like we had a choice. I looked at him, really looked. You're right. You were kids, but they weren't. I turned to my parents. You were adults who made a choice. You picked who mattered. Mom's eyes filled with crocodile tears. Belle, we were going through so much. The divorce was messy. We were stressed. So stressed you forgot you had 3 kids instead of 2. The silence stretched until Dad slammed his hand on the table. Enough. We're here to solve Emma's problem, not relitigate the past. I smiled then, and something in my expression made them all shift uncomfortably. Actually, Dad, the past is exactly what we're here to discuss. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. Their eyes lit up with hope as I showed them the screen, numbers that made Emma's debt look like pocket change. $42,000, I said. That's nothing to me now. I could transfer it right now and never feel the loss. Then why haven't you? Emma demanded. Because money doesn't fix betrayal, and because I don't do business with people I can't trust. Dad leaned back. What's that supposed mean? It means I'll solve Emma's problem, but not how you think. I pulled out a folder of documents. I contacted your investors yesterday, made them an offer they couldn't refuse. The investor information had been easy to obtain once I'd hired a private investigator to look into Emma's business dealings. The same investigator who'd helped me uncover the truth about my past 5 years ago. Emma's face went white. What are you talking about? I bought your debt, all of it. Your business, your investors, your future. It all belongs to me now. The silence was deafening. Mom's perfectly composed face cracked like old paint. You can't do that, Emma stammered. I already did. The papers were filed this morning. Congratulations, Emma. You now work for the sister you forgot existed. Dad's voice shook with rage. You vindictive little... Careful, I interrupted. I own your daughter's livelihood. I'd think twice about finishing that sentence. Mom tried a different approach. Belle, we're still family. Family forgives. I laughed, and it came out colder than I intended. Family? You mean like how you were family when you reported me dead to collect insurance money? The color drained from every face at the table. Ryan looked confused. What is she talking about? I kept my eyes on Mom and Dad as their world started crumbling. You didn't tell them about the $200,000 you collected after putting my name on a deceased child report? The restaurant noise faded to nothing. Emma's mouth fell open. Ryan looked like he might be sick. That's not... Mom started, then stopped. Not what? Not true? Not the reason you never looked for me? Not why you were so eager to sign away custody? I pulled out my phone again. Because I have the documentation. Insurance payouts, death certificates, the whole paper trail. Dad's voice was barely a whisper. How did you find out? I hired a private investigator 5 years ago when my business started taking off. Wanted to know why my own parents never tried to find me. Imagine my surprise when I discovered I was supposed to be dead. Emma started crying. Real tears this time. Mom, Dad, how could you? We didn't know if she'd survive the system, Mom said weakly. Kids get lost. They disappear. You thought you could cash in on my misery, I finished. And for 14 years, it worked perfectly. You got paid, I got forgotten, and everyone moved on. I stood up, leaving the papers on the table. Here's what happens next. You have 48 hours to sign a confession and arrange to return every penny of that insurance money, with interest. And if we don't? Dad asked. I showed them my phone screen, a recording app that had been running the entire time. Then this conversation goes to the police, the IRS, and every news outlet that loves a good family fraud story. Mom grabbed my arm. Belle, please, you'll destroy us. I looked down at her manicured nails, the same ones that had pointed at me all those years ago. No, Mom, you destroyed yourselves. I'm just making sure the bill finally comes due. I walked out of that restaurant feeling lighter than I had in years and didn't look back. Behind me, I could hear Emma sobbing and Dad cursing, but their voices felt distant now, like echoes from someone else's nightmare. 2 months later, as I was reviewing applications for my new foundation, the investigation made national news. Local couple defrauds insurance company by reporting living daughter as dead. The headlines were everything I could have hoped for, and more. Mom and Dad lost their house, their savings, their reputation, and both received 2-year prison sentences for insurance fraud. Emma's business collapsed entirely once the scandal broke, and she moved across the country to start over with a different name. Ryan called me once, crying, asking how I could have destroyed the whole family. When I explained that I hadn't destroyed anything, just exposed the truth they'd been hiding, he hung up and I never heard from him again. I didn't destroy anything, I had told him. I just stopped pretending their foundation wasn't built on lies. With the returned insurance money plus penalties, I opened the Bell Foundation, a nonprofit providing resources for foster children aging out of the system. Kids like me, who were forgotten but not broken, who needed someone to believe they could build something beautiful from nothing. When a reporter asked why I kept my last name after everything they'd done, I smiled and said, "Because I want them to remember who they left behind and who came back stronger." The family that once erased me from their story would now spend the rest of their lives watching me write my own. And this time, I was the one who decided who mattered. Sometimes the best revenge isn't what you take away from people. It's showing them exactly what they threw away. Every successful graduate from my foundation, every child who finds stability and hope, every life that changes because I refuse to stay forgotten. That's my victory. I was 10 years old when they chose who deserved love in our family, though they didn't abandon me until the custody battle concluded when I turned 18. I'm 32 now, and I choose every day to give that love to the kids who need it most. The girl with the teddy bear grew up to be the woman writing the checks, and that's the sweetest revenge of all. Before you go, here's a quick bonus for sticking around. If you love learning and growing like I do, you need to try audiobooks. I've got an exclusive deal with Audible. Your first month is completely free. That's access to over 500,000 titles, zero cost to you. All the details are waiting in the description. Don't miss this one.